Wig, did you just say wig? Wig, okay. I know, wig. I feel that already. Wig, okay. Wig, did you just say wig? Wig, okay. I am ready for my wig to go flying.
Okay, it worked.
Beautiful. Oh my God. And we're here.
We're here.
Hi, Caitlin. Did you survive Pride?
No.
Oh, anyways.
Which is funny because we're recording in the middle of Pride Month right now, but it'll be over by the time this happens.
By the way, I'm Martyr.
I'm C Tepper.
And this is
What the hell was that?
trying not to break the sound barrier.
We always do, though. I heard it.
I know.
I heard it broke.
It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Well, on this lovely indistinguished July date,
yes,
who we talking
July.
about? Who we doing? What are we doing?
We got Miss Cherry Poppins.
Woo! Hello.
Part of the
hello.
WERRRK family, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
Part of the WERRRK family? I think so.
Yes, I am.
Which I've wanted to interview you for a while, but it was just a matter of time.
And who knew that it would happen after a brunch when I was drunk?
Yeah, as one usually books events.
Yeah.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. I actually just had a date today, so we'll see when this episode's released if this person's still in my life.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that's where you were. That's awesome.
Well, I did that earlier in the day, and then I had to run some errands downtown because, it's Pride season, so I'm sewing a lot of stuff and trying to, make as much money while also spending the least amount of money. So.
As one does during Pride.
Just trying to survive. That's all we can do.
We'll see if you lived for this episode to air.
If this is my memoriam, so better be a good episode.
We're looking back at your life before it's over because of Pride.
Oh, what a tragic life I've lived.
Oh no. So going back in time, where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Michigan, a little tiny village called Stockbridge.
Mm-hmm.
It's very small. No one knows where it is. Even if you're from Michigan, you're like, where is that? Then I moved here when I was 18, went to college here, and have been here since.
Yeah.
So Cherry is a New York City showgirl, but Michael is a farm boy from Michigan.
Oh, was it a lot of culture shock when you came here?
No.
You were ready for it? Yeah.
No, I literally showed up here and was like, Broadway, musicals, homosexuals. What a grand life.
And you went to Marymount, which is right next to where I went to college, Hunter College.
Yeah, we were college buddies.
Yes. I mean,
taking
I don't know.
6 train.
Oh, God. I don't know when you were in college, but
2013 to 2017.
Okay. Yeah, when was it? Nope, that was after me. I'm really old. Trying to think. I think I was 2008 to 2012. So
that's not bad.
You came right after me to the city.
Yeah, I love it here.
So you went to study musical theater. How was that? What part of musical theater? Because there's a lot of it.
So
singing,
I studied musical theater performance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the program at Marymount when I was there was like 2-tiered. You did the acting program, and then you had like a musical theater minor, and now it's a BFA in musical theater, but it's the same program.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically like singing, dancing, acting every day, dancing every day, and then like theater classes on top of that. So it was a good program. It's just now I do all of it at once, and I also cross dress. So it's a joy, it's a treat.
I feel like performance, going to college for that or acting school to drag queen pipeline is very strong in the city.
Yeah, if you come here and you're like, I'm not getting cast in what I want to do, you're like, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and that's where drag happens.
Yeah. Did you have like a dream role that you wanted to do?
Very much that. In college, I was like, I wanted to do Book of Mormon.
Not
not only because I'm white, but also because I can tap. And like that was like, oh, little white Twinkie chorus boys just tapping in the ensemble. I'm like, that sounds right up my alley.
I feel like, I mean, bookworm is still happening. It's still happening.
Yeah, but I don't tap like that anymore.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like dancing like to that level is very, really have
But
to commit.
Genuinely, I do not believe my body could take that anymore.
Yeah. I mean, the life of a dance is pretty short.
Yes.
Yeah. So doing a drag is better.
I'm not a dancer though either. So like I'm a heavy mover. I breathe very, very heavy when I move, okay?
Oh, no.
And that is what happens.
So how did you get involved in the drag scene?
So I think it's really funny because I feel like most drag queens before they start doing drag are kind of afraid of drag queens because they're afraid of what they want to become, you know?
Yeah.
For sure.
Young little gay me was like, I saw Marty Gold Cummings and I was terrified.
As you should be.
And I like saw that and I was like, but there's like some kooky campy side of this that I'm really into. And then I started dabbling in it. And then I had some friends watching Drag Race and I watched an episode and I was like, oh, these people aren't as talented as me, but I could do this. And so I was like, let's try it. And then I did a singing competition. I had torn my hamstring and then I did a singing competition. So I just sat there and I made top 3. And I was like, maybe there's a world where this is what I do.
Yeah. Where was that? What competition?
That was at New York's Next Top Drag Queen.
Yeah.
That was at the Metropolitan Room on like 24th and like 5th. Holly Day hosted it.
Okay.
I think I did season 3. It was right before the Metropolitan Room shut down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got your
that was, I think,
glory.
5.5 years ago, I want to say. 5 years ago, something like that.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And that got you like the drag bug.
Yeah, I definitely I wasn't good.
I
thought I was.
Yes.
I was untouchable, but I was also like very bad. And like figuring it out because yes, performance and going to school for performance is one thing, but drag is such a different beast. You have to do everything at once. And that is what was hard. I feel like for a lot of new queens too, is like trying to balance like the hosting, the performance, and like selling drinks and like being a promoter as well. There's so many facets that go into drag that like it takes a while to master, and sometimes you don't ever master it.
I read some of your interviews early on and I loved the looks when you were a baby queen.
Oh, I know some of those interviews. I thought I was like gonna be somewhere immediately, but and then I also started with like Jan and Rose and all these queens that did like skyrocket so quickly.
Yes.
And so that was a trajectory that I saw a lot of my friends that I like would go out and drink with. All of a sudden they're like, oh, doing shows once a week. They're like being booked at like major bars in Manhattan. And here I am like doing guest spots. And I was like very bitter for a minute. But everyone's on their own journey. So
yeah. Everyone has their own timeline, I feel like.
Yeah. And like if you do it long enough, you're gonna end up having gigs somewhere.
Someone's gonna book you. Right, yeah. Martyr?
I don't know anything about that, Caitlin. Why would you bring that up? I'm over here begging for Pride gigs right now.
Yeah, she's like, I need Pride gigs.
Give me those corporate dollars, please.
That's right. Give me the money.
Give me the money, I want
to pay my rent this week.
Oh, the rent is secured for the month. I am good, but Mama, I'm thinking about next month and the following month.
Yeah. So how did you get your drag name?
Well, I'm obsessed with the 90s, early 2000s, millennial, like gay bullshit. I think it's so fun. And I grew up watching A Shot of Love with Tila Tequila and all of that like trashy reality TV. So I was like, I need something that's trashy, but also something that's like dorky and nerdy. And I'm a huge Disney fan and I'm a Broadway nerd. So like Mary Poppins came to mind, Little Mermaid came to mind, and I was like, what? Let's find a fun innuendo. And then, you know, I just was the most innovative and thought of Cherry Poppins. No one's ever thought about it before.
Never.
So I was just, I birthed the name, and all of a sudden I was like, this is it.
One of a kind, unique.
Yeah, gorgeous, unique, one of a kind, never been done before.
Never been done. Yes. Well, so this name has currently stirred some controversy this past week. Why don't you tell us about it?
So this lovely man, his name is Josh Hammer. Shout out to Josh Hammer for making me Twitter famous for a moment. Don't follow him. He's a Trumper.
Yeah, but not a good person.
He does spend a lot of time at the Blue Store. So if you need your dick sucked, he's probably going to be there. But he showed up and like, what?
Oh, go ahead.
I said what I said.
Please don't sue us, whoever you are.
I was about to say the wigging out does not
endorse
to be self-evident.
Freedom of speech, something. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Second Amendment.
I have protections. Not Second Amendment. That's the issue that we're about to
exactly.
Get to. Singing fucking drag queens are ruining lives of people and like children and like grooming children. Speaking of, I had Bella Noche there, and she's part of Drag Queen Story Hour that's been like harassed and attacked. And so she was there this entire time, like being like, you have to engage with it or you're like, people are just gonna like run you over. And so I was like, okay. I was like, this entire group of Twitter like Christ Bible thumpers like came at me and were like tweeting, not at me because he didn't actually tag me because he didn't have the balls to do that.
Yeah.
But or even the brunch or Chelsea Market.
Right? We need some promo.
Also, like, if you're going to tag someone, at least have the balls to tag me.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you're, like, a right-wing Trumper and you do not have, like, the audacity to, like, actually tag someone. I'm like, you're a coward. I have an issue with that. Because you don't want to fight. You just want to talk shit.
Well, I know a lot of people who've been attacked by the right wing in different facets of drag, and it's just like crazy. Facebook's pretty bad though. Facebook, I think, is even worse than Twitter. But
I think because Facebook's where all the old people are.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a huge mess. And
I think there's so much more important things in the world that we need to be worried about than like me doing a brunch in Chelsea Market in Chelsea, New York, which is like one of the gayest neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Like, canonically in New York City.
Also, like they keep talking about children, but who's bringing the children to the shows? You know,
stupid parents.
Yeah, so that's not your fault.
No. Also, who's bringing the children to these story hours? The parents.
Yeah.
Why are you attacking the drag queens?
Yeah,
the drag queens are getting paid to show up there.
Yeah.
I don't come to your job and tell you can't serve McDonald's ice cream, bitch. Not what happens.
So that's what's been going on with that.
I mean, I also I'm a drama person. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Like, if people want to talk shit, I think it's hilarious because everyone does. No one doesn't. And if you think that no one's ever going to say anything negative about you, people have probably talked more shit about you than you know.
Yeah, it's true.
What?
Right, Martyr?
What? I'm loved by everyone, Caitlin. What are you talking about?
So switching topics a little bit. You are part of the House of Dubois. Who else is in this house?
Just Stevie and I.
Oh, it's just you guys. I feel like it was a bigger house.
Well, so Fifi, when she took the name Dubois, again, in true, like, immaculate form, she came upon the name of Fifi Dubois, which is also so original. You know, Dubois, never been done before.
Never.
And she there's a couple other Dubois in the city. Dallas Dubois, if you're familiar with her. She and Fifi didn't get along for a long time because she thought that they were like trying to like be the same person.
Okay.
Or there's some drama there. I don't exactly know. It's old drama. It's buried.
Yeah.
But she took the name, and then she's like an independent Dubois, I guess. And she's had children before, from what I understand.
Okay.
But I believe she probably ate them, or maybe she killed them. I don't really know. But I am now the only one that she currently claims. Yes. Yeah.
So what's the house like?
It's a lot of Jack. We drink a lot of Jack.
Have you done shows together?
So last summer, when I was at Monster, so when I got hired at Monster, I was hosting and like doing seating, because that's kind of what we were doing as drag queens coming out of this pandemic that we had. We were like, I guess we're just gonna like be like elevated hostesses and just like seat people and walk people and then like do a couple numbers.
Yeah.
So I was doing that at Monster, and then when things started like shifting a little after Pride, I was working Sundays, and then I was working like the door other days of the week. But Sunday night, Fifi came in to cover for Brenda while she was gone, and Fifi and I started working together, and then we started like she kind of like gave me a mic one night, and like we kind of co-hosted the night together, and then that's kind of just what it turned into. So like by the time Brenda came back in September after Fire Island season was over, Fifi and I were like this, and had been co-hosting with each other. And like that was right before I did Miss Comedy Queen in New York, Miss Big Adam's Apple. And she the week before was like, if you need anything, let me know. I love you. Walked out, turned back around and said, do you want to be my drag daughter? And I was like, yes, I do. And she's been like the best ever since. She's hired me. She does Diva Royale. And so I've been able to like work on some impersonations and bring those out.
Like who?
I started doing Babs. I started doing Miley. I'm working on an Ariana. I'm working on like Eliza. Ooh. Trying to find stuff that I can like classic divas that I can sing live, and then contemporary divas that I can lip sync to. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Maybe some Katy Perry. Who knows?
I'm here for all of it.
Yeah, and then she came down to Comedy Queen with me, so like we've had a very intense and close couple months.
I mean, it sounds like the house is going strong.
It is.
Do you plan on expanding at any point?
I know that my tubes are tied. I'm never gonna have drag children.
Okay.
Smart.
I don't want the responsibility of trying to like claim someone and help them. I would rather just help someone. Like if you're my friend and like we're friends, like I will help you. I'll sew for you. I'll like help you with wigs, like whatever you need. But a daughter is not. Nope, not happening. No, thank you.
So makes sense. I could see that.
I don't believe in children.
Yeah, or children go to drag shows.
No, just period. I don't believe in children either.
Yeah, it's a controversial opinion, but I do believe children belong in cages.
Yeah. For me personally, I've never seen a child, so I don't think they exist.
Who are they? What are they doing here?
And I'm at peace with that.
So the last question for this little segment is: you call yourself NYC's pastel pop princess. Who are your favorite like pop princesses, and what makes you unique?
Wow. What are you good at?
Like,
why do you do what you do?
Because I feel like pop princesses, like they have their own like very specific style. So how would you like categorize your version of pop?
I feel like I don't want to say Katy Perry, because Katy Perry does a lot like high camp stuff, and I like it, but I think some of it's gaudy. I think like a Dua Lipa moment where it's like big and extravagant, but also kind of campy is where I kind of fit, like fashion wise. It's like the Zigman like girl group kind of aesthetic, but like the kookiness of like Kesha being like a wild party animal, or like Kesha, Britney, Ariana, Betty Who. If you want to go 90s, I mean, Spice Girls, Little Mix is like that type of girl group camaraderie from like the 90s, early 2000s is kind of where I pull like my pop side of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the princess side of it's more like a mixture of all, like, I call myself like a Disney princess if she had like actually tried to process the trauma of what happened in her movie, you know, as an adult. Yeah. I'm like, if Ariel actually got over her daddy issues, or like, you know, was it Stockholm syndrome that Belle had?
Belle, yeah.
Yeah. Like, if you actually process those, you know, traumatic events in your life, like being kidnapped by a giant beast, who I just call Dad, but very different story. Yeah.
Right.
That's kind of like where it melds together. And like, I feel like it's very millennial to be like, I love pastels. I'm also like a pop culture junkie. So it's like Clueless, Strawbreaker, Heathers, Mean Girls, Legally Blonde. That's kind of like very basic and white of me, but also like what I grew up watching.
Same. But I think that style of drag is really having a moment right now. So I feel like you're very on trend with what's going on, at least with the drag scene. And
well,
like,
it's also like
people
I'm also
going
a
to
Broadway
shows.
girl.
Yeah.
So it's like it's like a lot of like things that fit together where I'm like, I can do all these different things. And so let me just like kind of do them all and figure it out as I'm going along, instead of like settling on one, because that's boring.
Mm-hmm.
And like, people have multifacets. Why can't drag characters?
That's right. I've read that you've done cabaret shows before, but would you ever do any in the future?
I'm actually working on one right now.
Okay.
It's called Disneyfied.
Oh.
And it is going to be like pop rock covers of like all the Disney songs with like a 3-piece. It's like drums, bass, guitar, piano, and then 3 backup singers.
Oh my goodness.
Trying to do that in like August.
Do you have a venue yet for that?
I'm looking at a couple.
Mm-hmm.
I know a couple of the bars I work at are trying to make it more of a performance space.
Mm-hmm.
So I've talked to them, and like that's probably would be like the easiest. But I've done stuff at the Duplex. I would love to do the Beachman. I think that'd be so fun.
I feel like it would be a perfect fit for that.
Yeah, but it's more of like a concert, so I'm not sure if it's like more of like a Joe's Pub moment. Like,
that's a big stage.
It's not. That's fine.
I mean, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. If you could,
and then I could like bring guests in too. Like, I could bring in like some of my friends that have been on Broadway and be like, hey, can you come like sing a song with my band for this night?
My goodness.
The only way to do things and make things bigger are to do them yourself.
I know.
You can't wait for someone to make the decision for you. You got to do it for yourself.
It sounds like such a good show. I want to go.
Well,
this is everything I love.
And on that note, I think we're going to talk about your pop culture junkie ness. Is that a word? Junkiness? Whatever.
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
In our next little segment. So we'll be right back, kids. Bye.
Wait, did you just say wig? Wig, okay. I know, wig. I feel that already. Wig, okay. Wig, did you just say wig? Wig, okay. I am ready for my wig to go flying.
And we're back. We just had a heated discussion and debate about pride gigs. That's right, children. Cherry, what are your thoughts on pride gigs? What are your pride plans? What are you doing?
I am very busy this week, and I'm very grateful.
Yay, we love to see it.
Yeah, I think I have 10 gigs.
Oh my God.
Good for you.
Holy shit.
I mean, hope you survive, but like, good for you.
Yeah. I have 3 gigs on Pride Sunday, and I'm very excited.
What are you doing? I mean, the episode will be out by the time this happened, but I want to know.
Please tell us, yeah.
Well, on Pride Sunday, I'm doing this project called Little Words Project. It's a bracelet company that is doing like a meet and greet pop-up. So I'm going to be there from noon to 1:30. And then I have my brunch at Ayala Thai that they're doing a big like pride show. So I was able to like hire a couple other girls and like a go-go boy. And so we're doing that from 2 to 4. And then from 5 to 10, I'm going to be at John Doe on 5th Avenue on the parade route, doing shows, pop-up shows all night.
Wow.
Yeah.
I also will be stuck in Chelsea Market during Pride.
Hey, we'll come by and say hi.
Please, because every Pride, I'm always working. I do nothing for Pride. And they close off like the streets to get to Chelsea Market. So like I have nothing to do.
Wait, why would they do that?
Because the parade route.
It goes on 7th Ave though.
I don't know. At least last couple of years, they've been like closing a lot of the streets down for Pride.
Oh no, I hope not.
Because it crosses and then turns.
Yeah.
And I think that I don't know closes something with that.
I don't know. The parade route's weird.
It's very weird, and I don't like it because it makes it very hard for people to get to Chelsea Market and for people to meet up with it.
Yep.
That's it.
But I'm excited. It's gonna be a fun week. I'm gonna have another couple hosting gigs throughout the week, but it's gonna be chill. I'm gonna try to make as much money as possible. I have some new garments coming in, some new wigs that I'm gonna be wearing this weekend, so I'm very excited to show the world.
Yeah, where do you get your stuff from? Your drags?
I get my wigs. So my human hair wigs I get from Shelby Late. She does all my human stuff. And then this girl in Vegas, her name is Styled by the Plug, has done all of my hair for the last like year.
Oh wow.
All of my like wigs, yeah.
I love that.
She's great. They're like helmets. They don't move. And I like the bangs don't move, but everything else flows. And so it feels like it's great for like doing some turns and like singing some songs.
I love that.
Yeah.
Get more into a little bit of drags. We're gonna pivot to about you being in the pageant scene.
Oh yes, I've done a couple of those. So I was researching you, and I read about how Tina Burner used to mentor you. Oh yes, we don't talk about that anymore.
Oh, you don't? Okay, I didn't know how it was. We can cut that out if you want.
No, it's fine. It was a time in my life that happened.
Okay.
I'm grateful. She taught me how to sew. She taught me how to drink. She taught me how to. Tina Burner is one thing, and that is a workhorse, and she knows what she does. Especially when she was in the city before Drag Race, like she ran the shit in Manhattan.
Yep.
And I think that's what she gets credit for a lot of times. And that is what I take away from that experience. I learned how to sew, I learned how to stitch, I learned how to do like make reveals, stuff that I never really thought I would learn how to do. So I'm grateful for it, but she didn't really like help me in pageantry, I would say.
Okay.
She was like, you have to figure it out on your own.
So what were like the first couple pageants you ever did?
My very first pageant I did was, I believe, Miss Industry. The year Lolita Golightly won. I think that was the last year they actually did it. I competed against like Honey Davenport and Holly Box Springs. Holly Box Springs and I have kind of become like pageant sisters in that sense, because we've competed against each other a lot. And then I did in that year I did Miss Stonewall Industry, Miss Hell's Kitchen, and this pageant called Miss Skirball that was at NYU.
Oh.
I kind of became that girl that they called because they're like, oh, you have a package ready, just come do it.
That's good. That means you were professional.
Yeah.
What have you learned doing pageants?
How to be professional.
Yeah.
Pageants is they teach you how to like hone on to one ability, try to make that the best you can, and then let it all go, perform it, and get critiques. And I love improving. I love getting critiques. When I'm not in drag, I like reading my critiques and everything. When I'm in drag, if I read them, I will get upset. I have stories about National Comedy Queen that but yeah, I like.
Yeah.
Huh?
You've done like a lot of like comedy pageants. Like, how is that different than like your regular pageant?
Well, so I did Ms. America the year before the pandemic, and got really positive feedback. And I've always considered myself I think I'm funnier when I'm in the conversation, but I do a lot of like pop music because that's also what I love. So doing a comedy pageant, I'm like, okay, so let me focus on the comedy. Let me figure out like the to all the jokes. Let me take a mix that I've done and like make it funnier and add more production to it and see how I do. And I think I've done pretty well.
You've competed in some pretty big pageants.
Yeah, I did Miss Big Adam's Apple. So I had signed up for that when it originally was supposed to happen, which was like 2 weeks before the pandemic, or like the week before, something like that. So it got canceled. And then I did Miss Quarantine Comedy Queen during the pandemic and was the second alternate. I came in third. Whatever that means. I won some money. It was nice.
Perfect.
And then I did Miss Big Adam's Apple when it came back. And then there I was approached by the owners of the pageant, and they told me that if I wanted to go to nationals, I just had to do one more pageant and they would qualify me from there. Because there's a wild card spot, and they're like, it's yours if you do it. So I basically was like, okay. So I did the Last Chance Comedy Queen in Florida, and then did National Comedy Queen the next month.
And how was that? That's a really big pageant, right?
Yeah. There were 17 of us.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
That's huge.
Yeah. 17 at nationals. It was a lot of fun. I laughed a lot. I had a great time. I mean, I still talk to some of these girls like every other day. I had a bunch of them message me. Most of them commented on that post about that Republican.
Oh god.
It's just like very funny that like we're from all different parts of the country, but we sat back there and night one and night two, and like we were just so supportive of each other. We all were like bringing our top level comedy, and everyone's stuff was funny. That was the worst part, is that everyone was fucking funny. And it was like, because you see things in the city and sometimes you're like, oh, that's not that funny, or like, that's not that good, but everyone brought it. And I feel like this was the first year that like a bunch of really, really pretty girls also were doing comedy, because there were like, everyone was just stunning. Like the makeup skills were incredible. The talent level was incredible. The gowns were outrageous. It was just a really campy, fun time.
It sounds like such a fun show to go to. Like, I would love to go to that pageant.
Oh, so here's where the story comes in. It was really fun until I didn't make top 10. And which, fun fact, I was 13th. I tied 13th, 14th with someone.
Okay.
So 13th.
Yeah.
And there were only 8 points between us and number 8 in the top 10. And between us and number 5, there was only like, I want to say 20 points. So it was very, very close. Like, and then it was like 15 through whatever was like, it trickled off from like 15 to like someone that was, I think, like 60 points behind us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like, it was very much like this group of people, it was very, very close. And then the people in the lead were in the lead.
What are they like? What are the like portions of like, as I know traditional pageants, but like, what do they judge for that?
For Comedy Queen, you do a presentation, which is whatever the theme is, but make it funny. So this year's theme was horror. So for the prelims, it was Broadway and like musical theater. And then for nationals, it was horror. And so for this next year, all the prelims will be horror. Horrors being horrors. So I did the Human Centipede, and I had sex dolls attached to me. And I came out with like a long trench coat that hid them. And then I took the trench coat off and I like did a little like folksy song about being a human centipede. And then you do comedic talent. So just the funniest of the funny. It can be whatever you want. And then you do at for first night, prelim nights, you do gown, outrageous evening wear. So it doesn't have to be funny, but it has to be outrageous. So
it seems very broad.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You can literally do whatever.
Okay.
So like one girl, the girl that won Mr. Miss Adrian, shout out to her. She did her for the first night, she did the broken, like twisted neck. Meryl Streep and
Death Becomes Her.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then for finale night, she did Dr. Rock. So she had like a big back piece that had like the arms, and she had like the orange gown. I did not go that far. I was a marijuana plant. I came out with like a giant marijuana back piece and like a rhinestone gown, and I was like, look at me be a pretty marijuana plant. For the prelim, I did a Beanie Baby gown.
I
that
saw
was based
that.
on the Princess Diana bear.
Yeah, you took photos of that for your Insta.
Yeah.
I love that look.
Thank you. That's a lot of Beanie Babies.
I know, my childhood all wrapped on.
Mine too.
Yeah.
I thought that I was gonna have thousands of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just spent it on a gown instead.
I mean, it's probably worth more as that gown.
Honestly, I added a lot of rhinestones to that gown too. So come at me.
So switching gears, I know you do the Spunk Go-Go dance party at Monster Bar with Holly Day. How's that?
Yeah. I really love it actually. So first, Holly's great. Oh, hi, Kat. Oh, do you hear it?
Yeah.
Why are you so loud, Kat?
Oh.
Anyway.
Holly Dad.
That's what you wrote in the
No, I didn't.
Oh, Holly Dad?
Yeah, you wrote Holly Dad.
Oh, that was autocorrect.
And I'm just like, oh, at a Spunk Go-Go. I was like, is that a pun?
Holly Dad?
Holly Dad. I was like, okay, Caitlin.
I mean, that could be another queen.
Oh.
I mean, I like that. She's already changed her name once. You can do it again.
Holly Dad. There you go.
No, Holly Day, legend.
Yes. She's been in drag for 17 years.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's older
Forever.
than me.
Forever.
Insane. No, she's fun. We have a good time. We, again, drink and watch the naked men dance around in their panties. Very nice.
That party's been going on for a while too.
Yeah, 8 years at Pieces and I think 15 at Monster.
Yeah,
I want to say.
Oh,
maybe 10.
Did it switch venues or is it?
No, so we do Monster Thursday and Saturday, and then we do Sunday night at Pieces.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So Holly hosts the Saturday night Spunk and Sunday night Spunk. And then Thursday night, we have rotating co-hosts come in. So it's Brenda Darling, Bootsy LaFerris, Anita D, and Fifi Dubois rotate throughout the month. And then if there's like an extra Wednesday, it usually goes to like Egypt or some like guest host.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so rare to have like Coco in the city. So.
Yes, it's like one of the few places I feel like.
It's nice because there's people that have come and started dancing at Spunk that are now working at other venues too. So it's nice to see like their career kind of start and like go somewhere if they actually wanted to.
Oh.
At least the gay ones.
At least the gay ones. Gag.
It's true.
Another gig that's not really a gig that you've done. You did Two Girls, One Show with Elise Navidad on YouTube.
Hey, that's my sis.
Yes. How's
She's
it
such
been
a
working
stupid
with her?
bitch.
Yeah.
She's so fun. I have a great time with her. We are able to do a lot of really ridiculous things with each other because we've worked with each other for such a long time now that I don't have the pleasure of doing with other queens. There's very few queens in the city that I've worked with for like many years on end that I have the relationship I have with Elisa that I have. She's also like my best friend. Like we hang out all the time. And doing that show was where I learned how to talk nonstop. So there's this really fun thing that we did one time, and it was just like, so we would baby bird like the White Claws we would drink, so we put them in our mouths, and then like on camera, if we got tipped to do it, would just like tip the White Claw into each other's mouths and try to like make each other drink without getting it all over each other. But there was this one night that we were doing that, but we hadn't done a number for an hour and a half, and we had just been talking and like doing ridiculous shit. And someone came down, I think it was my roommate came down, or like his roommate texted her and was like, hey, you guys haven't done a number yet. And we were like, oh. I think she's the only girl I could do that with. Like, just be ridiculous for hours on end in front of a camera. What a treat. What fun that was.
Is that show still happening?
No.
Okay. I didn't think it was.
So we ended the week after Pride last year.
Okay.
We did every single Monday until then, and we were like, because it was also a time to like, we hung out. We didn't really drink that much toward the end, but we were doing it for fun, and like the only thing we ever wanted out of it was like, if we could make $40 for pizza and our meal at the end of the night and like pay for our liquor and pay for everything, it was a success. But yeah, no, and then once we stopped doing that show, we started doing some live shows together, and we had been pitching those, and we still pitch them, but she's doing like, she's with me all day on brunch on Sunday for Pride. She's doing brunch, and then she's doing the John Doe thing with me. Like, we book each other as often as we can.
Yeah. You're like a 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah, and like we had a show at Headroom in Jersey together that before Headroom, got axed.
Ooh.
And we were working at Monster together, so we've subbed in there a couple times, and we've done some Stonewall stuff together again, and we've pitched shows places. It's just like everyone is pitching shows right now, and it's hard. It's a competitive business.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure.
I don't envy producers. It sounds like a headache and a half.
It's stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good luck to you.
Oh, I love putting together a show and like pitching it, but it takes so much work to do it right. And once you start pitching a show for a long time and you haven't had any bites in a minute, it's hard to keep that show alive. So it's like you have to reformat it and redo things, because like obviously that version of the show doesn't work. So
yeah.
Producing, it's fun. Stupid. Ridiculous.
What stresses me out is just getting people to the event.
Yeah.
I am a firm believer, like, yes, we have to bring our following. We're supposed to have people that come for us, right?
Yeah.
I think it's more about if people see your name on a poster outside and they're like, oh, it's like, say Tuesday. And they're like, oh, it's a Tuesday. And this person's, I don't know, at fucking Stonewall. I don't know. And they're like, oh, she's there Tuesdays at Stonewall. Oh, it's a Tuesday. I like her. Let me go in. Instead of like, you have to bring your following. Like, you have to show up with like a mass of people. Like, that's
never
ridiculous.
gonna happen. Yeah.
Also, like some shows, there are going to be only 5 people in the audience.
Yep.
And the real test of if you're a good drag queen is if you can still do the show for 5 people.
That's right.
See.
In my opinion.
Nope, you're right.
I'm brought in to enhance your experience at this bar and also bring people into the bar.
Right.
So on a slow day, I'm still going to be there, but on the busy day, I'm still going to be there.
Yep. Consistent.
Yeah. That's key.
So we talked about a little bit in this episode, but this is how this podcast happened. You've been doing drag brunch at Chelsea Market.
That's right.
On Sundays.
That is correct. I am there every Sunday. We have seatings at 2 and 3 p.m. It is fabulous. We have $20. In Chelsea, we have a $20 bottomless mimosa. I'm sorry, that is insane.
I wish they did delivery so they could just bring it over to me.
I mean, they probably would.
They probably would. They probably do have delivery.
Especially like, I'll walk it over to you.
Please. So where is it in Chelsea Market? Chelsea Market is freaking gigantic.
So Chelsea, after, if you walk in the main concourse, you're gonna walk all the way down. So there is 2 Ayattais. Ayatattai, there's a little annex. That's basically just like a strip of booths and like a place that like the liquor is stored for that bar and like a cashier. And then if you continue down past the waterfall, past the where you would like turn to go downstairs to the restrooms, it's right there inside into the back. There's also an entrance on 16th Street to it, so you can go either way, but that's where it is. It's about a 5-minute, maybe 5-minute walk.
Yep.
Like to the outdoor from the back, that back door, I think. It's not far. It's like toward the back of the building after the restaurant space.
Yeah.
Chelsea Market's very hard to describe, being like, where is it in there?
I mean, especially after the pandemic, so many places closed and then they opened so many new places. So I don't know. I'm there 3 times a week and I don't know where anything is.
I literally feel like I'm like, it's over the river, through the woods.
Yeah.
You cross through the little like planted with all the daisy things that are there right now. Yeah. There's flowers. It's really a joy, but it's like,
if you end up in Jersey, you've gone too far. It's
That's true. If you end up in Little Island, what are you doing there?
How long have you been doing the brunch there? I don't know if you said.
So Pride Sunday will be my 9th, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a new brunch.
Relatively new.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's nice. It's hard because it's a tourist spot.
So
but what's great is like teaching them what drag is.
Yep.
And each week has gotten better and better and better.
Yep.
That's good.
Like not just tip wise, but like just interaction wise. More people being like, let's take a picture. Like, oh, I had so much fun. Thank you so much. We've had some repeat offenders come. So it's starting to grow. We're building it.
Chelsea Market is just like, I feel like you have to busk for your life. That's what I do my job.
Yeah.
You're just like talking to strangers nonstop from literally every part of the world. Hope they speak English because I don't speak any other language. And try to get them to do things.
Yeah, between our seatings, we go out into the hallway, the main hallway, and we like, for lack of a better word, harass people.
Yeah, that's what you do at Chelsea Market though when you work.
That's what you got to do, honestly. It's such a weird venue, and I mean, I don't know anybody that lives in the city that goes there, TBH, besides
but nobody, like, because I'm there so much, like there's no native New Yorkers unless they're showing around their friends and family.
Yeah,
it's all tourists.
They started like putting posters out and stuff, which has been a big help.
Yeah.
But that's also where the Republican man got his fodder for his Twitter.
You just never know who's walking through the doors. And lately I've just been seeing a lot of celebrities. I used to see a lot of celebrities pre-pandemic, but now I'm seeing more now.
I mean, honestly, if that guy would have come into my brunch, I would have bullied him. So
yeah, he had to hide behind Twitter.
Yeah.
But usually I feel like people are pretty accepting in Chelsea. Chelsea Market is the second highest tourist destination over Times Square. It seems like it seems like people go in like it's like 1 million a week or something crazy, like through the doors.
Jesus,
that's insane.
Yeah, something like that. The New York Times did an article I read
about. Switching subjects to, well, maybe not. I don't know. High popularity. That's my mind for this segue. Because we touched upon it on the first part of our interview, but your love for pop culture. Can you tell us about your love for Disney and specifically Mary Poppins?
Well, Mary Poppins is my favorite. It means, okay, there are many different facets to Disney, okay?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot that goes on. Yeah. So there's like the parks. Yep. There's like you know, there's the movies, but in the movies, there's also like the live action movies, like the classic ones. And then there's also like the contemporary ones. Then there's also like the animated ones that say they're not animated, but are like the Lady and the Tramp movie that just came out. That was like really shitty because it's all CGI. Yeah. But it was real, but it wasn't, but it was real.
Yeah.
And then there's like the musicals and like the princesses and like, you know, all that. And then there's like the straight side of Disney. I don't like that shit.
What's the straight side of Disney?
The straight side of Disney? That would be like Star Wars.
Oh. Well, that's like Disney properties that they acquired.
You think
it's still Disney?
You think Star Wars is straight? Honey.
That's where the straights go.
That's true.
Maybe, but
they go to Star Wars.
Mama, Jar
I'm not saying that they are not. You know what made me gay? Bat nipples.
That's pretty.
Chris O'Donnell and bat nipples.
I remember when that happened.
Not to make you guys feel old. That was a little before my time.
You were like born that year that movie came out, right?
Yeah. I think so.
What movie? Which one?
Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Bat Nipple and Robin.
Bat Nipple and Robin.
Like Bat Nipples and Robin.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Disney, like I love Disney. And Mary Poppins specifically was something that I grew up watching. And I've always loved Julie Andrews. Julie Andrews is a diva that like you asked me earlier in the interview about like my pop stars, but really it's more like Broadway stars. That's really like where Cherry comes from. And Julie Andrews has always been a huge inspiration for me because, hello, 4-octave range, who the fuck can say that? No one. And just like seeing what she did and how she did things, and now as an adult, like going back and like seeing her prepare for Mary Poppins and how Mary Poppins changed her life, it kind of did the same thing for me in a way. And that's kind of where like my love for Mary Poppins came from. And also like, who doesn't love a bitch that can fly on like an umbrella?
Hello.
You don't need a broom. I'm not a witch. I'm a nanny.
What did you think of the newest version?
I liked it. I think it played an appropriate amount of homage to the original while also being very different. Yeah. But it kept the whimsical, like, I'm a Mary Poppins, blah, 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 blah. Like, it was sweet. And it kind of opened like I've been watching a lot of Marvel movies, so let's go with the multiverse of Mary Poppins. So it's just...
You're right. You're not even wrong. That's correct.
Next thing we know, Nanny McPhee's gonna be flying down. And I'm like, oh, bitch.
I need that crossover.
I knew you were that motherfucker.
I need that crossover like yesterday.
I will watch the hell out of that.
Yeah. Fuck Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I want Nanny McPhee x Mary Poppins crossover event of the century.
What if that was like Mary Poppins and the Multiverse of Madness?
I'd watch that.
I'd watch it. Someone needs to do like that as a themed drag show. Just every nanny.
Yeah.
Like Fran Fine can be in there.
Night of 1,000 Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
I still think they should remake Mary Poppins as a horror film after that. I'm sure you've seen that like viral video where they re-edit the trailer for Mary Poppins as like a horror movie.
Oh, like Mary Poppins comes to like...
Yeah.
Do I have my knife over here anywhere? I have a completely rhinestoned like...
As you should, as every queen should. And with that, I think we should take our last little break. We'll be back with our usual wrap-up shenanigans, kids. Bye.
Wig, okay. I know, wig. I feel that already. Wig, okay. Wig, did you just say wig? Wig, okay. I am ready for my wig.
Oh, and we're back. Oh, I'm crowning.
Oh, I'm dilated.
I'm dilated.
Oh, it's a stillborn.
Oh no, Jerry, no. Well, we just had a lovely discussion about reality competition shows that we won't elaborate on. But Cherry, do you have any plans on going on RuPaul's Drag Race, Dragula, Camp Wanakiki, whatever, Legendary maybe?
Well, I'm not Aja, so no. No, honestly, I would love to do Drag Race. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Like I said, I love reality TV and pop culture, so being involved in that, I kind of know where I would fit, I think. I know the track that would be put in. So I feel like I could do it. I've only auditioned once before. And I'm excited to maybe make a tape this year. We'll see like where my life is and what I'm doing. Because last year I was too busy and I was like, I'm not going to do something I don't feel I can put my 100% into.
Well, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and like to do it well to where I'm like, I want to get cast and like I needed to represent who I am. It's a lot to ask to like measure that into 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's a lot. I think you would do great on Drag Race. I think your confessionals, because they really like choose girls based on their looks and their confessionals, you would destroy.
That's kind of the issue though with like the way that they do the tape is that they want you to do your confessional, but they want you to also like tell your life story a little bit.
Yep, in the span of a minute.
Have you auditioned? Or looked at like ever read anything?
I've helped people audition, and it's insanity.
Yeah, and like I love it, and like it's what drag queens need to be doing. I think like what it's asking is like very much like what we do, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
and
what they want, they don't give people enough time to do.
They also don't really like New York City girls in the last couple of years.
Well, this year looks like it's going to be a little different story. So.
Well, what do you mean by that?
We'll see.
We can talk in a minute.
Talk off mic.
Off mic.
But yeah, I would love to do it. I think it'd be fun. Also, like, I want the higher booking fee and I want to tour. I would love to tour. That's kind of like, I love traveling, but if I have a chance to like see the sites and also like make money, I would rather do that. So I feel like that'd be a lot of fun.
But, I can see it for you.
Yeah.
As far as
I think you should audition because I can see it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm usually pretty good at predicting who's going to end up on Drag Race, so you never know.
Oh, well, I'll come back after I get on Drag Race.
Yeah, no. I mean,
break that NDA.
Right? When you see like, especially like New York City, like so many girls end up on the show, you can tell who's gonna end up on the show.
I mean, there's like, for my career, for me specifically, I have like set certain goals and like at certain like my age and like how long I've been doing a certain thing to like then be like, okay, so the next project, like I have to start working on that project. I can only like idle in what I'm doing until something else happens, or I have to make something else happen. So I give myself a certain amount of time for the thing to happen. Like I gave myself until I turned 30 when I was 26 to do drag full time. It happened. Now I'm like, okay, so in the next 5 years or 10 years, I want to be able to open a bar if I don't get on Drag Race. Mm-hmm. So I should probably start putting those blocks in place to then hopefully open a bar in the next 5 to 10 years. Because then I can be the entertainment director there. And that's like a drag goal that I would be like, okay, so then I only have to work 3 nights a week and then I can run entertainment and that can be my job and I don't have to worry about money. Cool. Yeah. Like, it's like the layers of things. And it's like, okay, then I want to open a theater when I'm like 40. So like, I have like 15 years to do that. Like I have like crazy plans and I'm like, I want to do them all. And then it's like, oh, we're get on Drag Race and tour and then open the bar and then do this thing. Or like tour and then like get world famous and I don't know, like get on Broadway and do TV shows and live that life. I'm open to it all.
She's open, ladies.
But the thing I do want is a crown. So that is my next 3-year goal is like, I want to win at least a crown or 2.
Girl, we'll just get you dental insurance. It's okay.
No, I want Miss Stonewall. Miss Stonewall is one I want. If Miss Monster came back, I would want Miss Monster. And then I want Miss Comedy Queen or All American Goddess. Those are the four I have my sights on because they're the creative ones.
Mm-hmm. I could see it. Why not?
Yeah.
Put a crown on it. Give me a crown.
What do you have coming up for you? This episode's coming out early July. Where can
the first
find you?
Yeah, first week of July.
So I just hosted Polish the Queen last week with Fifi Dubois for the first time. So I'm going to be doing that again in the next couple of weeks. I have a couple private gigs happening. I'll be doing brunch every week at Ayata Thai in Chelsea Market. I'm at Monster Bar every Friday hosting Drag Race with Octavia Anye. I'm at Spunk Party Thursday nights, Saturday nights, and Sunday nights. And then I'm around doing shows at like Feathers next month. I think I'm popping in. I have a Diva show next month. I think I have like a trivia night that someone asked me to do. So just like random things throughout the month, but all fun, all good.
Sounds good.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So what's the best advice you've been given about drag, doing drag, all of it?
The best advice I could say is be yourself. There was a long time where I feel I wasn't leaning into the Broadway. I was like, I sing, but I don't want to sing in drag. I want to like be the dancing pop girl. And then I was like, no, you can do all of it. And it's fine. Just like do it to the best of your ability and no one's going to say anything about it. Like people don't talk shit about people that try really hard. Because even if they're bad, they're still like, at least that person's trying.
I won't name names, but no, I agree.
And then there are exceptions to every rule, okay?
Yes.
But for a general rule, as long as you are trying and constantly trying to improve, no one's really going to talk about you, but they will talk about how bad you used to be. But you can't listen to that. Yes, I've thrown up on the street and fallen down in Christopher Street before. We don't talk about it.
That was last week. It's fine.
We don't talk about the fact that at Comedy Queen, I got blackout drunk in the back row and read my scores on the side of the street afterward and yelled at one of my dancers on the street because there were two people that said a dancer fucked up. And I turned and I said, who was it? No, I did not fall asleep with a lash right here on my face after that because I was so drunk because I drank an entire bottle of Jack with Fifi Dubois. We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that. Why would
that was
we?
just an Airbnb story. We don't talk about the time I fucked someone outside of Pieces. We don't talk about that.
Only Pieces?
Only Pieces.
Well, we don't talk about the time I sucked dick in the bathroom at Pieces.
There we go, baby.
That's the one that got on Twitter. That I had to have someone take down.
Gag. Well, I think that leads.
It was not a gag. I have no gag reflex, so I'm not sure what you're talking about. Gag.
This perfectly leads into our next question. I know you're gonna give me a good one, but can you give us a scandalous, tantalizing, salacious, never been done before tale from nightlife that a crazy moment that you've either experienced, heard about, did? What do you got? Tell us.
So there's a couple. So I'm gonna give you one or two.
Okay.
So early on in my drag career, there was a queen named Bitsy Pieces who, and I remember people's names. I'm like an elephant. I'll find you and I'll trample your body afterward. Try me. I'll kill you in the desert, and then I'll find your body during the funeral. I'll kill you.
Again.
Anyway, Bitsy Pieces. She came in. I was doing an ultimate drag pageant at the West End back when Nidra Bell and Marty Cummings were doing it. And this girl came in with a fist in her anus and sang a song I think it was Disney Week, and did kiss the girl, but instead said fist the girl, and proceeded to pull out the fist on stage and put it on the piano, dripping wet.
I touched that piano.
Oh no.
So that was one moment. That was early on in that life where I was like, people are fucking batshit.
They really are.
This ain't Brooklyn.
Yeah, no,
recently, however, I am a girl that I'm a party girl. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm a party princess. Mm-hmm. I didn't grow up with traumas like daddy issues. I grew up with alcohol issues. So no, I have done a lot of like wild things this last year. So after the Glam Awards, I was with the queen, and I will not say her name because I love her and I'm not going to call her out. But we, God, this is bad. Oh God. Okay, so we performed for a certain queen at the Glam Awards. And then afterward, we went downstairs and had a little kiki with some girls. This kiki turned into us then going to the after party at the Q, where there was like, for some reason, they were closing at 2 a.m., which I didn't understand. But then after that, we went to Hush, and then Will and Ballet came up to me and was like, "You're very pretty." And I was like, coming from you, that's actually a compliment. Thank you. And then we went to the bathroom together because that's what girls do. And then afterward, we went to Industry. After Industry, I took a cab home. But in this cab, I was very aggressively hitting on my driver.
As one does.
And by aggressively, I mean, I got in the front seat and started sucking his dick. And then he was like, "I have a girlfriend." And I was like, "I have matte lipstick. Come on, let's go." And then he was like, "Okay, we have to stop." So he's driving while this is happening. Roadhead in New York. Very fun. Still have a wig on. This is the first time I've ever done this, by the way. I have never hooked up in drag before, except for this once. And he sucking his dick, right? Sorry. I just see the way you're gonna edit this, and it's just be like, so I was sucking his dick, and then it's gonna be a tangent. Okay, so back, I was sucking his dick. So
you think she's editing this part? Absolutely not.
No.
Oh, let's say it together. So I was sucking his dick. And he was like, "Do you want to fuck?" And I was like, I just looked at him. I was like, "I'm very drunk right now, so I'm not sure how it's gonna be." And he was like, "Okay." And I was like, "Great." So he puts on a condom. And I slide my pads off into my tights. So I'm wearing nothing. Let me show you the dress. 1 second.
Oh my God.
Yes,
I'm wearing this dress. Okay, this little dress. So my little coochie cooch is right there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So here I am in this beautiful little dress I made, like hiking it up like a fucking slut on a Sunday, and like climb on top of him. He pulls over. This is not while he's driving. So he pulls over. He's behind this like snowbank, and we proceed to fuck. My wig is like here, and I keep hitting the ceiling. And I'm like, 1 second. I just go to the back seat. I scalp myself. It's Inglourious Bastards up in here. I'm scalping myself, throwing shit. And I'm on top of this man. And he's just like, "My girlfriend just can't know about this." I was like, "Well, good thing you're not going to smell like pussy." And I was just like riding. So we come. And he's like, "I want you to come on me." And I was like, "Okay." So I pull my dress all the way up. And I'm like, "Here we go." And I'm just like, thwap. And then I flip over, and I'm sitting, and I'm like, like in down. He like takes the condom out, throws it out the window. I like slide my dress back down. I put my pads and my stuff in my bag. And then we're just like talking. He drives me the rest of the way home. I get inside. Granted, that was like a 45-minute little adventure I went on. I get inside and I open up my phone, and he had charged me $145 for the ride. This ride was only supposed to be $25. So I called Lyft and I said, let me give you this best little, I'm a terrible person. So I said, oh my God, I just got out of my car and I was sexually harassed by my driver. He pulled his dick out and like started jerking off in front of me. And then I had to run, but he kept the timer running. And I think I got him fired. So.
Oh my God.
And here's the best part. You can decide what part of that's true.
It's been a while since we've both been speechless about a story. Martyr has no words.
But bitch, that next day I walked into work and I was like, I just got fucked last night. I was like, I pulled a straight guy. Because for some reason, I pull trade and drag and I don't understand it.
Because you're a beautiful woman.
Well, thank you. But also, like, I will pull like the Twinkie hot little twink. And I'm like, why are you into me? Is it because I'm aggressive like your father? Like, that's an issue you need to take up with the therapist, baby.
I'm dying.
I'm gonna need a cigarette after this podcast.
I'm freaking dead.
Oh my God.
Tiddly do, zippity doo dah day, bitch. That's all I gotta say.
Oh God.
Where's my vape?
Lordy, lordy, lordy.
Oh, so good. I'm dead. I'm dead.
Okay.
Well, I already also told you the story about Florida. Like, I can't. The other, like, the most recent story was Florida, where I got drunk in the back and was like, I don't know, talking a lot of shit, and I didn't realize how loud I was talking it.
Oh shit!
And we smuggled in a bottle of Jack in like a Gatorade bottle that we were drinking in the dressing room. And when I didn't make top 10, I went down there and I chugged the rest of it. And then we went and sat down in the back, and Fifi went and got another, like, you know, like the Starbucks cups, like the grande full of whiskey, and brought that back to the seat. And we started passing it back and forth. And I was like, I can't believe I fucking didn't make top 10. Like, what the fuck? Like, passing this back and forth, go outside, yell at my dancer. We go back to the Airbnb. The dancers go to a sex party. I am in this like Airbnb with Fifi. Fifi decides that she's going to make us little vodka shots out of the rest of the liquor we have. So she just combines the rest of the vodka into a glass, stirs it up with her hand, pours it into two things and says, bottoms up, girl. Then she goes to a bathhouse. And I'm sitting there on the couch being like, I should probably get out of drag. And then I just fall asleep. And I will send you the picture, because if there's a way podcasts can be visual, I look like a Picasso painting.
Oh, actually, we could use that for our promo if you want.
Like, it is me laying there on this. It's a full like 4-picture arc of like you can see what happens because it's me asleep. It's me like waking up and slowly seeing my dancers taking pictures of me going swat at the camera, and then me just going at the end.
I want to see it.
And then we drank more and then smoked a lot more weed. And then I went to bed like a sensible adult. One of them went to a sex party, and then the other one went to bed with a guy. And then the guy that went to a sex party, I thought was Fifi when I woke up, because Fifi had an early flight. And I just saw him like splayed out naked on the bed. And I was like, Fifi? And I was like, that's not Fifi's butt. And so I turned around and walked out. Yeah. And then Elise and I brought margaritas to the airport and drank them on the way.
As one does.
Especially in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby, you're never not drunk in Florida. Let's be real.
Right.
Honestly,
you gotta be.
Florida was fun. I get why people live there, but also I would never want to live there.
Correct answer.
Correct answer. Caitlin, take us home with our last question.
I mean, I feel like we kind of addressed it earlier in
Okay.
this
What was
segment.
it?
Where do you see your drag in the future?
Oh, famous.
Done. I feel like we already answered this question. So,
love.
Yeah.
I
just want to be able to create a space for people to like do what they want to do and like be diverse and fun and creative. I want to bring like productions back. I want to bring like, I feel like a lot of people are not, they don't like plan like their looks to their like numbers to their for shows anymore. And like, I get like you have to wear one costume for like if you're hosting your own show. I get that. But I'm talking about like production shows. I'm like, I want production value, like money behind it, looking good, custom shit. Like that's what I strive to do in like the next 10 years is like have the resources to be able to do all of that.
The birdcage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the name of the bar.
Yeah. Do it.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on our little show.
Thank y'all for having me.
Oh, anytime. Where can the kids find you on the internet?
You can find me at Cherry Poppins NYC on Instagram, Venmo, Farmers Only, Mouse Mingle, Hinge, and then it's Miss Poppins NYC on TikTok and Twitter.
And what's the alt? Drop the alt.
What's that? Oh, the nudes? At Novazar. No. The nudes, well, you can find that on Sniffies.
I see all the queens on Sniffies. This is a public service announcement. Put drag queen in your bio so we can stop finding each other like this, girls.
No, I will not. If you got a nice ass and a nice dick, I will come for you no matter if you are a cross-dresser or not. I will find you. I will put it in my mouth and I will make it milk.
The ass especially.
And I will go yodel hee hee while you're fucking me.
I'm ending the podcast. I was Martyr.
See you, Tepper.
And this was
So stupid.
I'm C Tepper. You can follow me on Instagram at CTEPPER and read my book, The State of Drag, where I interviewed 175 drag queens from around the world. All proceeds go to charity on Amazon.com.
Ooh, I love that. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Drag the Martyr. And if you have any thoughts, comments, dick pics, send them to dragthemartyr@gmail.com.
Listen, rate, and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Pandora.
And catch up with past episodes on WERRRK.com. That's WERRRK.com. Artwork for Wigging Out was provided by Glitter Baby Online. That's Glitter Baby Online. Thank you.